Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It is Candy here from SweetStamper.com, and I'm really happy to be with you here tonight. I have a brand new class by mail that I'm going to showcase a little bit, and then we're going to make something with the stamp set that I am featuring. So this is my Calm, Cool, Soothing cards. And we're going to do some sympathy cards tonight. I don't know about you, but I am out of sympathy cards once again. And it does seem like you always need some during the holidays. As much as we would like that to not be, it is, you can't really escape it. So that is where we're going to head. So let me make sure that my computer is tracking with, well, actually the computer will track. I just need to make sure that I'm in the camera range and so that I can see what you are seeing and all is well. Okay, let's see. I think I'm up and running. So, like I said, this is my card class by mail. This kind of seems like the wild card here, but there's a reason for that. So I wanted to do something non-Christmassy. I've been doing Christmas cards since July, and most of us have made the majority of our Christmas cards at this point, although oftentimes I need a few more. But I thought that I would go in a totally different direction for this month's just regular card class. So this is not my cards with a twist, my club. This is a little different. So hello, Margaret and Tina. So we have North Carolina and Virginia. My stateside grandkids live in Virginia, and they are on their way to Texas for the holidays. So we're super excited about that. And maybe if you're a regular here, you know my other grandchildren live in England, and I will be going in January to help with kiddos while Mama has her third baby in 4 years. Griffin is 4, Fliss is 2, and new baby will be coming in January. So I get to go and help, and I'm super excited about that. It's going to be super cold, but I am super excited. Hey, Marcia from North Texas. Welcome, welcome. Well, let me get going here. Let me show you about my class, and then, like I said, we're going to head into stamping with this same stamp set. So I made a class, and I did 5 cards featuring this one stamp set. It's Olive Branch. It's a gorgeous stamp set. I love it because it's distinctive, and you'll see tonight some of what I mean by that. It just gives you a lot of shading so that it makes it look like you're an artist. Some really sweet greetings, very peaceful. And so this is where I went with the cards for the class. And you get everything prepped and ready to go so that you can just stamp and assemble. This, to me, you know, there's always got to be rhyme and reason when I'm creating. So to me, there's, you know, this is a map, more like a, well, it could be a city map. Well, no, actually, this is like a county map. But in the crazy world, I want to send peace, love, and hope in this crazy world that we are living in. This is sorry. This could be, you know, may your heart begin to heal. You know, whether this is really speaking to loss, just soft, very soothing. This is probably my favorite one. I love this one. And this class, you get everything you need to make these 5 cards, plus the gift card holder. And then you also get these festive pearls. These were featured in the holiday catalog. They are carrying over. That means they will continue to be available. Thank you so much for sharing, Pat. And hello, Chris from Iowa. We've got quite a few states here. Very good. Betty's all the way up there in Canada, and Jeanette's here. You do get a 1/4 of a pack of this very pretty, I think underused, vellum layering designs. And so you get some white on white and black on white with print, with script, and with maps. Really pretty. And then I also am featuring this beautiful, beautiful soft seafoam seam binding ribbon. So you get all of this with your class packet. That's $29 shipped to you. If you are in the local area and you want porch pickup, you can put porch, that code in, and it will knock $4 shipping off of your class. So I'm going to give you a video with tips and tricks on using vellum and adhering it easily, and also on these multicolored stamped images, which is what I'm going to also be doing tonight. And I only used, I think, two colors of markers, yeah, and one ink pad. And well, actually, I used the Regals. And so this I colored with the Real Red Stampin' Write marker. And sometimes we forget that you can use your markers to color your ribbon. So several of y'all are sharing, and I really appreciate that. I do a drawing with every Facebook Live based on those who share. Sherry Munson is the winner of our last drawing, and I haven't yet gotten an address for her. So I gotta see if maybe I can hunt her down on Facebook so I can send her her prize. Tonight, we are going to be giving away a 6x6 pack of silver and gold designer paper, which I don't have with me. My admin is Jennifer, and she will give you a little graphic to show you. Okay, now this olive branch stamp set, let me show you. This olive branch stamp, you can see this is the largest block that we have. It does not fit on the next size down. And this is, I think F block is what you call this. This is almost the size of a background stamp. And the reason I'm using this block versus my Stamparatus is because when you do this technique, you need to be able to hold the stamp up to your face when you're finished inking it up and do what we call huffing on it. And all that means is you're going to breathe on it to re-moisten the ink. Okay, let's get going. We're going to do this two different ways, but using the same color palette, and that way you can see different ways to do a multicolored stamped image. So let's start with some sponge daubers. These come 5 to a pack. I have one for each color, but you could do like one for greens, one for oranges, one for purples. You could do it like that because you can rinse these. I'm just too lazy to do that most of the time. So just keeping it real, people. And so I'm using, these are the colors I'm using, and that is Pear Pizzazz, Petal Pink, and Rich Razzleberry. Now, anytime you're doing several colors of ink on a project, I recommend starting with the lightest color first. I'm actually I've got a ceiling fan going. I'm gonna turn this off because it's gonna dry out my inks before I want them dried. Okay, so these little sponge daubers, you can just hold them, but I like to put my finger in them and just do them like finger puppets. And I'm going to start with Petal Pink, and I am going to, let's see, get my cardstock. I'm using Very Vanilla. I do like, because I'm doing sympathy cards, I want everything to be soft or deep. So my rule of thumb for sympathy cards is I want my color palette to be either deep, rich colors, or I want it to be soft, soothing colors. And I'm doing mostly soft and soothing with a little bit of richness with the Rich Razzleberry. So I'm going to hit just the top of my olives with a little bit of Petal Pink. And that's just going to give me a little bit of softness. Now I'm going to go down to my next darkest color, which is Pear Pizzazz. And I am going to actually ink up all of the greenery here. So that is all of the leaves, all the stems, and I'm just dabbing it. This goes really quickly, and I'm not too bothered if I hit the bottom of the olives with this color, because by the time I go over those olives with the deeper Rich Razzleberry, it's largely going to cover any any place that I went out of the lines, as it were. And you will go out of the lines. When you're using sponge daubers, they're not meant to be super exact. And you can kind of tell in the light whether if you've totally missed an area. So now I'm going to go back in with the deepest color. And I do recommend closing your ink pads in between, or you'll accidentally dip that sponge dauber into the wrong color. Now I want to just come down to the bottom of the olive. I don't want to go up into the top, and I'm not even going to re-ink it in between each one. because there's a fair bit of ink on here, and I'm not looking for super deeply saturated colors. I'm wanting kind of a soft look, and that is going to be it. Now, if you look closely in the light, you can see it's glistening, but it's drying just a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold this up to my face, and you'll hear me breathe on it. And that just re-moistens and keeps my, make sure that all of my ink is nice and moist, so that when I apply it to my cardstock, it's gonna be the way I want it. It's gonna be wet ink. Voila. Now, look how soft and pretty that is. That's exactly what I'm wanting. I'm wanting just a really, really soft look. Now, I'm gonna do the same technique, but this time I'm gonna use the 3 markers. So I will have a little bit more definition. You see where I've got a little bit of over spray of color, but honestly, it looks really good. I'm not having a problem with that whatsoever. Joy, you're gonna replay later. You're watching a good movie. Well, good for you. And Simone is here. Hello and welcome. Okay, now the one thing I didn't bring over here, I think, no I did, it's underneath my stamps. Let's see, here we go, is I need to clean my stamp, and I like to just pull this chamois right out of here and fold it over and just go for it. Even though I'm using the same colors, I like to clean it so that you're starting with a clean slate. Okay, now I'm going to do the same technique, but this time I'm going to use markers. Now I'm going to use the same colors, and I'm going to use the brush tip of my Stampin' Write marker, and I'm going to go right here to the top of my olives. And you always, when you're doing this technique, you want to use the side of your marker, because that is going to maintain the integrity of your tip. If you start mashing this with your tip, it's going to get all fuzzy and it's not going to have a pointed tip anymore. And so that's what you want to maintain. And this takes a little bit longer than the sponge dauber method. You get a little bit more precision, because you can see I'm going in here and I'm actually kind of painting the leaves. And again, this is, I started with Petal Pink, and now I'm using Pear Pizzazz, which is the lighter counterpart to Old Olive. So I wanted, just a really soft, soothing look for my olives. Olive branches are just they're beautiful, number one, and number two, they're very meaningful, very symbolic of peace, offering the olive branch. They're very significant in many, many cultures, and they're just beautiful art. I remember at one time, there were a lot of prints for, in home decor. You'd go to some place that had home decor items, and there was just olive branches everywhere, olive leaves, olives. And of course you could take this same image and do something kitchen-y with it. So that's another angle that you could definitely go with. I'm going to come back in with the rich razzleberry, and I'm going to kind of paint the lower part of my olives, and it's coming together ever so nicely. You can see in the light where the ink is glistening, and that tells me that I have ink applied there. But I can also see it's drying just a wee bit. So once again, I am going to huff on it. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot one. Look at there. That would not have been good. So I need a little bit more color there. Now I'm going to huff on it. And then I'm going to position it like so. And voila. Now, you see the difference where this is more defined and this is less defined? Now, I mean, honestly, I kind of like this one better for this particular one. Hey, Pam, thank you so much for sharing. And Jeanette's shared. Thank you. That means you're in the drawing for this week. So I think just because of the way that I was painting my olives, I probably like this one better. Now comes the fun. So we are going to layer these up, and we have several choices on colors. So that was an extra one just in case I messed up. So when we layer it with not Old Olive, this is Pear Pizzazz. Both of them we are going to, one we're going to layer with Pear Pizzazz and one we're going to layer with Rich Razzleberry. So I think we will take let's see, this is probably the darker one. So let's go ahead and layer that up. I might actually kind of offset it instead of doing it straight on. So I think maybe one will offset and the other one will do straight on, just to kind of give a variety, and you can see, which one you like best. So let's just offset this a little bit. I don't want anything too funky because these are sympathy cards. And okay, this one is going to be on Pear Pizzazz. So look how it looks totally different based on the layer that you're putting behind it. So it really will bring out different shades that you have used in your art piece, your focal piece. Okay, let's see. Now comes even more fun because we are going to we have a couple of options. So this can go on here. So we could do that, or we could really go kind of rogue, as it were, and bring in the fresh freesia. This one is probably softer and looks better with the fresh freesia. Or we can stick with the original colors, and then if we bring in the petal pink, that's really, really soft. That gives I think I like that better of those two, or this one. And I think this, well, I can't do that. That has to be, okay. This has, that's very soft, very pretty. I love that. I'd love to hear some votes. That one. So I think this one is going to have to go on the the Pear Pizzazz, and I'm going to pop it up on Dimensionals, and that's going to give me a minute to hear from you. And then, this is a Stamp, Ink, and Paper card. I am going to use a little bit of linen thread, but this is a technique, and the technique is multicolored stamping. So you have multi-colors of ink on one single stamped image. And, okay, so Marsha's going for the petal pink. Well, she's saying Blushing Bride. It's actually petal pink, but and Margaret likes the petal pink, and Pam likes the purple. So we've got several. I like having different votes, and Donna is sharing the techniques, which I appreciate ever so much. Now we're going to put our greeting up here. Before we do that, we're still kind of keying in on what we're going to do here. I'm going to grab a little bit of linen thread. I think I'm going to double it and give a little double bow here, just at the top of my olive branch. This linen thread, because it's wound, I like to kind of run it through my fingers, and it straightens it so it's not all like folding in on itself and going a little bit like curly ribbon when I don't want it curling. Okay, so that is going to go there, and that's going to go there. Okay, I just want a little bow, just a little bit, very natural. The linen thread is just such a classic look. So, okay, Pat likes the purple. We got several purples, several pinks, so that is going to go right there, which I'm liking. Let's get a little glue dot there. And yeah, my original plan was to use the petal pink, and then when I was pulling, I went to my little file with all the card bases, and I saw that fresh freesia, and I went, oh, that looks really good with, I love fresh freesia with rich raspberry. It's a really nice color combination. So let's pop that there. And then, so while we're still getting a few votes on whether we want that with the purple or the petal pink, I will say petal pink is my all-time favorite color. But on these end colors, well, this is my favorite of this set of end colors is a tie between fresh freesia and evening evergreen. Okay, Jeanette's liking purple. Let's see. Pat's purple. Oh, it's not letting me see the rest of the. It won't let me see the rest of the comments, so I can't tell. Maybe somebody can tell me while I'm doing my. I'm going to do my little greeting here, and I'm going to do something that I don't do very often, and that is I am going to stamp and cut out the words. I do this very infrequently, not my thing, but with this card, it just needs it. Now, this sympathy greeting I love. If you don't already have Paceful Moments, it's been around for several years, one of the best all-around greeting stamp sets that we have, and you know, I'm hearing a lot of purple over there. Let's see, I need some paper snips, and I'll show you what I mean. I tried, like, you know, any kind of punches or anything. This is such a soft look. It just overpowered. So this is going to work for us. And this is not, you know, I'm not a fussy cutting fan. That's just not my thing. But every once in a while, I'm happy to do a little. And, you know, the key with fussy cutting is to move the paper, not the scissors. Having said that, sometimes I just, you know, you just kind of go with it. Some people love fussy cutting. Yeah, I'm a little bit too impatient for that to love fussy cutting. But like I said, sometimes it's just the only thing that will do. It's just what you need. And in this case, I think I wanted to just stamp it right there, but it doesn't quite fit. So this is where we went. Okay, here we go. Okay, oh, thank you, Marcia. 4 for Petal Pink and 3 for Fresh Freesia. Now, you see why I want that there? Now, let me just smooth this out. I don't think I want it on dimensionals. I think I'm going to put it flat right there. Yeah, it's going to go right up there. See how if I stamped it, it would go directly into that leaf, and I think it needs that little bit of color. So let's go ahead and finish this one, and then we'll see which one we like the best. With Deepest Sympathy, I think that is, it's a Stamped Ink and Paper card. The only thing we did, you know, the only embellishment we added was the little bit of linen thread. Ah, Simone gave another pink. Okay, so now we're up to 5 pink and 3 Fresh Freesia. Okay, so pink it is. Petal Pink, which is, you know, it's really more of an orange. I file it that way. It does bring out, oh, it's so, I love this color combination. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals, just like I did on the other one. So let's bring these in. Now, I know some people just put them in the 4 corners. Personally, I don't like saggy middles, and so I always put a couple in the middle. And I don't put them all the way at the edge because, yeah, if you put them here, the edge is going to be just where you need it to be. So I don't know. I'm kind of picky about my dimensionals. Imagine that. Okay, so this one is straight, where this one we did offset just a little bit on, which gave us more of the purple background. So this is Rich Razzleberry, and we have more, where this one I did Pear Pizzazz, and we have a little bit less. So what I'm going to do on this one is we are going to stamp and fussy cut on the Pear Pizzazz, Petal Pink. To this, we did the Pear Pizzazz here, and we did the Pear Pizzazz on the greeting, but we stamped it in Rich Razzleberry, picking up the purples here. Now, if this were not a sympathy card, I might be tempted to put like Wink of Stella on the olives or something like that. It's a it's a very soothing sympathy card, so I'm not going to do, I personally am not a fan of bling on sympathy cards. I don't think it's the place. So even when, you know, you can say, well, you know, they're no longer in pain, they're in a better place. All those things might be true. At the end of the day, we're mourning loss. You know, that person will no longer be in our lives. And so we are mourning that loss. And, you know, mourning is very real. It's a part of life. It's not something we can escape. And we are in, it's very different losing a pet than losing a person. And I fully recognize that. Having said that, our pets become very much a part of our family, and some of you on here who are regulars are aware that my little Roscoe, we thought he was at the end of his journey about 2 weeks ago, and the vet has adjusted his meds, and he has really not only hanging in there, he's really perked up, and so we're having what we're calling bonus days with Roscoe. And so grateful. My son in England, they had to put down one of their pugs on Monday. And I mean, it's been rough. They've been in England 4 years now, and they took Smeagol and Frodo with them. So, I mean, they moved their dogs over there, and then had Griffin after they got there. Then they had Felicity after they got there. And now we've got baby number 3 coming in the span of 4 years. Thank you very much. A very busy little family. And so Smeagol was just, they're just sweet dogs. And it's just hard. And for my Griffin is 4. So this is the first time he's encountered, you know, loss. And so at 4, it's, you know, it'll be interesting to see the way he processes that. Now, obviously it's a loss for Felicity as well, but her being just 2, I don't think she comprehends it quite as much as her brother will. Now, just to do another little difference here, I'm going to do just a single thread, a single linen thread, and we'll see which one we like best. I love kind of this and that. I love to do things 2 different ways and see which one, you know, we like the best. Because I think that's how you learn, and that's how you decide what you like. And I figure if I'm doing it here, maybe it'll save you some heartache, frustration with your crafting. So we're going to do just that little single. And here's the other one, so you can kind of see them side by side. It's a little bit chunkier because I doubled it. Make sure I'm in camera. Yeah, you can see everything. So I don't need any more dimensionals, but I do need a little mini glue dot here. So what I think I'm actually going to do is take my fancy pick tool. This is a poker tool that my friend Pat Works made for me. And look at this. Is this not the niftiest little thing? Look at that. With the crosses on there and the pretty beads, it's so nice. And it's got the little loop up there. So this is my little handy dandy pick tool right there. Brand new gift, ready to be used. And I love the fact that it's easy to spot, you know, with the color, it's really easy to spot. I love the crosses on there. So faith is a big part of my life. If you're new to my channel, my husband's a pastor, so church life, faith is a very big part of our lives. We got married 44 years ago, and he was in seminary. So church life and the call of ministry has been part of our marriage from the very beginning. Okay, there we go. So there's this and that. So slight differences. I'm going to bring them up just a little bit. Slight differences. So this, first of all, with the actual coloring. So this was done with markers. This was done with the sponge daubers. And, of course, different colors on the layers, but same colors used of ink. And then the other little difference is this one is offset. The layers are offset. This one is straight. And then this one has just a single linen thread, where the Pear Pizzazz one has a double thread. So I'm getting some love, which I appreciate ever so much. And I hope that you will consider adding this beautiful olive branch stamp set to an order that you might be placing this month. I do have a host code. If you're not a demonstrator, you're not already working with a demonstrator, you can put 34D, sounds like a bra size, 44XWH into your order, and that will give you my December host. That's my December host code. So that will bring you into the place where you get some little gifties. And then if you're not going to do it that way, or if you want a little bit more than just the stamp set, I do have this awesome card class, and this is my December class, and not my twist club, this is just my class. Comes with all these goodies, so you get the vellum, you get the ribbon, you get the pearls, and the PDF tutorials and videos to kind of walk you through the two color stamping here, as well as working with the vellum, because adhering vellum has a few there are some tips and tricks for sure. So anyway, that is where I am going for my December card class, and I hope that you loved what we did tonight. Had a lot of nice kudos. I appreciate all of you who have shared. I do have a little stack of 6x6 foiled designer paper to send out to somebody who wins the drawing. And yeah, this is going to be in my sympathy stash. I actually have to send one of these out right away. And hope you're inspired to make a stack of sympathy cards. And I have to say, if you're wondering what to give somebody for Christmas who has everything, they don't need anything, or you know, sometimes people are older and they're like, I don't need anything else to dust, I don't need anything else to wear, but I could really, really use some cards. And I think sympathy cards, they're unsung heroes, but we need them, and we need them a lot. Jolene says you could use the branch as a cute Grinch card with an ornament. Oh, now that sounds like fun. Yeah, you could make these into ornaments. That's a great idea, Jolene. I like that. So that would take things in a totally different direction. I will put a little supply list for these. Just a reminder that I used the olive branch stamp set, but I did pull in because I didn't want to just say sorry. I wanted with deepest sympathy, and so I brought in peaceful moments. And you can see how you could take these others, and it really kind of expands what you can do with the olive branch. That's it for tonight. Don't forget to share my video if you have not already, and I appreciate that ever so much. And I also put you into my drawing for free goodies by mail. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I am Candy, and I am at sweetstamper.com. That's my blog, and you'll see these cards and other things featured there, my classes and such. So again, thank you so much for stopping with me here on this Thursday evening. I will be back next Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. In the meantime, take care and God bless.